Back with another one.
Ooh.
Another one. Chase is here. I'm here.
The huge.
Who else is here?
Oh, we got LB. The big Luke Baker.
LB.
Behind the camera.
Producer Luke's here.
He's probably coming here to make sure we, don't mess around
Making
too
the
much.
magic happen. Yeah, he keeps us on track.
We got a little Caleb here, too. A little shout out.
All right. Yeah, if you watch us on YouTube, which you should definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Oh, hey, look at that. Nice plug.
As well as follow us on Twitter, PSO Sports 1. Follow us on Instagram, PSO Sports 1. Anything else we got? Like us on Facebook. Yeah, like us on Facebook. Share our stuff.
That's right.
Like our stuff.
We want to get big.
Give us feedback, even if it's bad. Tell us how dumb we are.
Trust me, I'm used to it.
Yeah, tell us how dumb we are.
I've been called a lot of names. None of them I can repeat on this show.
Tell us how dumb we are. Tell us how smart we are.
That won't happen.
But mostly, disagree with us.
Let us know.
What we got today, Chase?
What do you want to lead off with NBA?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
NBA, NCAA. We got basketball.
Yeah. We got all basketball.
What happened Monday? Was there anything big that happened Monday?
Yeah. Villanova won by a lot.
Yeah. Understatement.
They murdered Michigan. It was, what was the score? 79-62. Won by, and I don't even think it was that close. It
didn't seem that close.
It was decent in the first half.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was trying to talk about. The first half...
well, honestly, it was decent in the first half of the first half. The second half of the first half...
They pulled away.
Got a little out of hand. Yeah, got a little out of hand. Dante freaking DiVincenzo looked like...
You're not going to yell it on this?
No, I'm not going to yell it. I tried it. Didn't work. Dante DiVincenzo was a master. He was... That boy was hooping.
Winking at the crowd?
Yeah.
Getting some honeys and shooting some threes. That's how we do it.
That one got me. When he hit that three and he turned around and he winked, I was like, oh, man.
That's impressive.
That one's pretty good. But yeah, he had 31 off the bench, by the way. And he only came in the game so soon because Brunson was in foul trouble. By the way, the player of the year, Jalen Brunson, season low in points.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Not a good showing for him, but they won by 17.
The big thing was they talked about Kansas. Like, everybody was saying, like, oh, this is it. There's a sleeper Kansas. Even though Nova, they're proven to be elite the past 3 seasons. Kansas.
Oh, yeah, they're blue
this season
now.
They're known for their defense. Kansas was. And that was the big thing. Like, Nova's not going to be able to score 79 points against Kansas.
Listen,
they destroyed them.
First of all, Kansas was not that good.
Like you said, the first half of the first half, Kansas, Nova couldn't hit anything. It was bad.
Wait, hold on. Are you talking about Kansas or Michigan?
What? Kansas.
So we're talking about the Final Four.
Kansas against Nova.
Okay.
That's not the Final Four. Am I smoking something?
No, it is.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
I was just making sure you weren't mistaking them for Michigan.
That wouldn't surprise me if that happened. No, it's Kansas. Yeah, they're next to us, aren't they? Close to us.
Oh, my God.
We're in Missouri.
Yeah, Kansas wasn't even that good.
No, but Nova couldn't hit at the first half of the first. They were missing shots. They were getting frustrated. And then they did what Nova always does.
Yeah, and they put up 100 on. They put up 94 points on Kansas, and then they come in the Final Four, put up 79.
Most wins in a 4-year span.
Or the finals and put up 79.
That's okay. Most wins in a 4-year span out of any school ever.
It's pretty crazy. They're really, really good. And
I don't understand why Nova's not. And they did it with a bunch of sophomores.
Yeah, and last year they were handicapped. I forgot that didn't even happen. But Spellman was ineligible for the tournament.
Yeah,
who was one of the biggest factors for them in the tournament this year, Spellman, and he couldn't play last year. So who knows how far they would have gone last year?
That's true.
Could have gone for the three-peat.
They were a 30-win team last year, anyways.
Yeah, they're crazy, man. They're good.
It's insane. We don't consider them on Duke level though.
I think we do now. We have to.
We should.
We have to.
Jay Wright's doing a good job with a bunch of sophomores and Buddy Hield's out there.
Yeah, they've won just as many championships as Duke in the past 10 years.
2 and 3.
Yeah. I mean, they're there, dude. They're blue blood now.
I'm on the bandwagon.
Jay Wright's going to start getting NBA coaching offers.
And then go under 500 and come back.
I wonder if he's going to leave. I don't know. That's kind of interesting to watch. But yeah, it was kind of a boring game. I don't want to say boring because watching DiVincenzo go berserk like that was That was pretty sweet.
It was cool, but
he was just feeling himself, and
I get what you're saying. If I was at my house, we went out to eat when we did it. But if I was at my house, I probably would have turned it off. Like, 5 minutes left in the second half. It's over.
Yeah.
It was over at the beginning of the second, technically.
Yeah, and it's not even like he was just DiVincenzo was just scoring. Like he had 2 insane blocks. The one block, one block he wedged in between the backboard and the rim. He wedged it with like both hands. He like smacked it twice, and then the other block, he like jumped his 2 hands straight up in the air.
Dude, yeah,
I think his fingertips hit the ceiling. He jumped so high and got both hands on that ball. He was like, absolutely not.
That was awesome.
You cannot do that on me. He was amazing, and it was awesome. But I mean, anything else on the championship game?
I think I'm done.
Yeah, it's kind of a boring
Not really
game.
much to talk about. Yeah, Nova's going to be legit. Like, I just think it's so cool that you get these top 5 recruiting class, and then you got Nova that wins it with sophomores.
They they have Javon Quinterly next year. I really like him. He's part of that whole Jelly fan movement. They got him. He flipped from Arizona. He flipped from somewhere with sanctions, and then went to Villanova. But yeah, so NBA, LeBron is doing LeBron things. They played the Raptors the other night, beat the Raptors again.
Yeah,
the Raptors are if Cleveland can't beat them on the court, they're beating them in the mind games every single time. DeMar DeRozan looks LeBron James in the eye and just pees himself. Like at this point,
yeah, Kyle Lowry wasn't smiling very much.
You know what he did in that game? He had 5 points.
Shocker. And Kyle Lowry's a legitimate. There could be a hot take on how much I love Kyle Lowry.
I love Kyle Lowry. I don't know why you hate Kyle Lowry.
I can't do it.
He's good, man. He's good. Just because you're not good against LeBron James, top 3 player of all time.
I literally put in here, I said Cavs versus Raptors game. Doesn't surprise me. Raptors equal Hawks. That's the same. They are literally the same team. They're going to get bounced. I wouldn't be surprised if they might get bounced in the second round.
They're not the same team, but they might have the same outcome. They're not the same team.
Okay, they're different.
They're better than
yes,
the
they have
Hawks
different
team.
names, but they're still going to have the same result.
But they have stars. They got DeRozan.
Stars.
DeRozan's good.
We thought
that Hawks
Teague
team didn't have stars.
Horford, you're a big man. You love Horford.
I do love Horford. He's not a star.
They thought he was.
He wasn't.
Millsap, I consider him a star.
Nah.
6'8", undersized center.
Not on DeRozan's level. What? Millsap ain't playing center. Get that out of here.
Power forward, small forward.
He's
still undersized and he averages 10 rebounds.
DeRozan's above all of them. He's above. They had 4 All-Stars that season. You remember that?
Yeah.
Jeff Teague, Korver, Millsap, and Horford.
I forgot Korver. I
always forget was an All-Star. Yeah. Jesus. Don't compare them. I don't like that.
That's a beautiful comparison.
No.
Lowry's overrated.
DeRozan's better. Or the Raptors are better.
DeRozan can't shoot threes.
He can this year. He's shooting fine.
What's his percentage? Do you know?
He's shooting fine. It's his career high.
Over under 30. Yeah, career high. It doesn't matter if it's his career high.
I don't think he's shooting
25%.
It's high 30s, I think. He's not shooting 40%, which is fine.
That's good for.
I'm fine with that for Rosen. He's going to put in 28 a game. Like, he's awesome. He's actually,
he won in the playoffs.
Down the stretch, Lowry's been better than him. Yeah. But yeah, it's LeBron owns them. It looks like they're going to make it back to the finals.
I could see them beating the Celtics. Other than that, no.
Okay, hold on though. So I've been brewing this theory out for the past couple of days.
I'm ready.
So Golden State, when they broke out, who saw it coming?
Nobody.
Not really anybody.
No.
These things happen with these teams. A year before.
Oh my goodness! If this is going the way I think it's going to go, I'm going to throw little LeBron.
You don't know what I'm going to say.
Okay, keep going.
So just let me finish.
I'm ready. Ooh.
It always happens before we think it's going to happen. Philly.
Ooh, okay.
Philly, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid.
I thought you were going to say Toronto, and I was about to smack that hat right off your head.
Toronto's already peaked. They relied way too much on Fred VanVleet, and LeBron stuck Fred VanVleet under his shoe and just squashed him like a cockroach.
Because that's all the Raptors are, is a cockroach to LeBron.
But Philly, we might see that jump with their buyout guys, Bellinelli, Ilyasova. Fultz is back.
That's true. If he can pick
Ben Simmons, is he a top 20 player? You could talk me into it. Joel Embiid, is he a top 10 player? You could talk me into it.
I'll give him another year or two.
Exactly. See, you're saying it. What if it happened this year?
What are you saying?
What if they made it to the conference finals with Cleveland?
Embiid, is he playing? I don't think he's playing in the first round.
He will. He'll wear a face mask.
Yeah. That's what they were saying. They're saying he's out, whatever. And I was like, if he doesn't play, then there's something wrong with him mentally.
But think about it. Who else are you most confident in to make the East Finals?
The Cavs.
And there's 2 teams.
I don't want to. I want to say Toronto. Because the Celtics are.
It's either Toronto or the Celtics,
Boston.
And we don't know what we're getting out of Kyrie. No Hayward,
that
obviously.
Team's all hurt. They're fine with. If they get bounced in the first round, I think they'll be okay.
They don't care.
They're like, listen,
they've talked about
half
this.
Our team broke her.
Yeah,
like, it's okay.
Right. We almost won. I don't want to say we. They almost won 60.
Homer.
They almost won 60 games. They had Marcus Smart's missed half the season, and they didn't have Gordon Hayward, who might be their best player. So
true.
They are fine with whatever outcome.
Do you think they win 60 games with Hayward?
Maybe. They almost did this season.
Yeah.
Hayward got hurt 5 minutes in.
They were on a 6-game winning streak. Did you know that? They're 6-1 in 7 games.
They're within 2 of Toronto.
That's insane.
As of today, of Wednesday, April 4th, they're within 2 of Toronto. That could change. They could still get the 1 seed. They could. They still have to play Toronto.
Yeah.
So
I always forget Toronto's a 1 seed.
But yeah, I'm not confident in. I mean, if Kyrie comes back and is fully healthy, they might honestly just keep him out.
I would. Why?
I probably would too, honestly.
Isn't it a knee or?
Yeah, it's a knee. He had surgery on his knee.
Keep him out.
I would keep him out probably, but I don't see them doing that. But
they won't do it. But
because it was a minor thing, they won't. He won't be back until he's like healthy. I think. Yeah. Or if they bring him back even 85%, I think that's stupid. But think about it though. How does Toronto match up with Philly? Horribly.
Toronto matches. They could get bounced by anybody.
Who in the East can guard Joel Embiid?
Horford.
Probably not.
Oh, he's not an all-star.
I mean, he's good, but
he made the All-Star game.
Joel Embiid is like Joel was a starter.
I know. I was just
Ben Simmons is on another level. We've seen that he's got how many triple doubles? 11.
It's insane. Yeah,
as a rookie. I think it's kind of the triple double is kind of an overrated stat anyway. But he is a rookie.
Yeah, like it's still fun to watch.
Right, and he's been insane. Like he's top 5 passer in the league, and it's his first season. Well, I guess season 1A. He didn't play last year, but
Blake Griffin type season.
Yeah, and they don't match up. Like Fultz is back. They match up well with everyone.
Philly against Toronto. I'm taking Philly.
I
just hate Toronto though.
I just want everyone to be prepared. I just want people to be prepared because I wouldn't be shocked if they lost in the first or second round because they are super young and they could get exposed like that.
Oh yeah.
But
who's their first round matchup looking like?
First round matchup is the Pacers. They're beating the Pacers.
Yeah.
And they're within a half a game of Cleveland. They could get the 3.
I hope they get the 3.
That would be crazy.
That'd be insane.
Then they will play the Heat. The Heat clinched. 1 through 8 in the East is pretty much locked up.
Yeah.
The Pistons aren't making it. They're like 5 back. But and then what is Milwaukee?
A team without a coach.
That's a first round matchup against the Raptors. I feel like every time we talk about the NBA, we talk about the playoff matchup, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but
yeah.
Like, what did they do? Like, the Bucks could beat the Raptors in the first round.
I don't know if I'll go that far. That team's...
Giannis? Giannis is the best player on the floor.
They don't have a coach. They don't have...
That's very true. They don't
have a coach. And that's a lot bigger than people think. Very few times.
They're wasted of all-time Giannis year.
I don't even know who in the coaching carousel I'd put in there, in the Bucks
David Fizdale, I think.
Fizdale would be amazing.
Well, the Bucks job is the best job in the league.
Oh, easily.
It's not even close.
You have a star. Yeah. It's like having a quarterback in the NFL. Like, why would you want to go anyplace else?
Yeah, unless Alvin Gentry mysteriously got fired and the Pelicans job opened up, then the Bucks is the best job in the league. And Jabari's going to get traded, so you're going to get something for Jabari. I don't know. It's like they could beat anybody. The Wizards, I think, suck.
And that team has one. They're going to be. I keep comparing stuff to stuff, but they are the Packers of the NBA. Like, they have the highest cap, but they're a wild card team, and you're like, why the hell? How do you not have any cap space, but you're that low of a team? You're a 9-7 team, and you don't have any cap space.
2 words: Jan Mahimni.
Yeah. And Gortat's out there. They do better with John Wall not playing. That team's a crapshoot.
They're a mess. They're a mess. Brad Beal, though, keep hooping, homie.
I talk bad on Brad Beal all the time. But
why?
Legitimate. Because I'm wrong about stuff, and I can admit it.
Brad Beal's a hooper, man. He made an All-Star appearance this year. That's pretty sweet.
He did.
But the 76ers, just watch out for Philly. I was going to make that my final thought. We just talked like 7 minutes about it, so I might need a new one.
We'll find one.
But, yeah, watch out for Philly. They get Embiid back healthy. I think they could beat just about everyone but the Cavs. I think they could beat the Cavs.
I'm not going that far.
I don't want to say that anymore.
I regret first playoff.
I regret it now that I said it.
But experience kind of does matter a little bit.
They can make the jump.
Oh, yeah.
LeBron's been, on a tear. Does he have any MVP case?
Yes. I mean, obviously, but you say it the most. I don't want to take your thing. What would you say?
Winning matters.
Well, that and what did he do in January?
Oh, he gave up for a month.
He mailed it in for a month, and that's big to me.
It's big to everyone. If he didn't
give
up
under 500, he went under 500.
It was the worst. It was the worst month of LeBron James's career. Was January.
That's huge.
They were getting beat by like the Kings. Like they were getting rolled by everybody.
Oh yeah,
it was
horrible.
Crazy. It's crazy, and he just coasted. Like it's fine. Like, he sent his message. He got guys that he actually likes now. Whether the team's better or not is up in the air. It fits better. It makes way more sense.
That's true.
But if he didn't give up for a month, first of all, if the Cavs won 55 games, he would win the MVP.
Oh,
it's not close.
Yeah,
it's not close. But the fact that James Harden is on the Rockets and they're the best team in the league,
and that's big too. They think about it. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, that whole freaking team. They're a better team than them. That's what tips it over the edge for me.
Yeah.
I don't think you should add team wins into it, but they do. So I think that easily tips it over for Harden. And, I mean, he's having a similar year than he did last year.
Harden? Yeah. Harden's been runner-up like 3 times.
3 times, yeah. It's insane.
Yeah, and honestly, looking back at the stats, he might have won it. That's first year Steph won it.
Yeah.
He had better numbers, but obviously the Warriors were better.
Steph got unanimous that year, didn't he?
No. The first year he was not unanimous. The next year, dude, Steph Curry in the 2016 season, that might have been the only season LeBron's had in the league where he wasn't the best player.
Yeah, that was insane. That was insane.
We will never see another season like that from anyone.
That was ankles are giving out on him.
Yeah.
Scaring me.
He's had like 7 ankle injuries, and now he's got a knee thing. And
Let's talk about Westbrook. I want to talk about Westbrook real bad.
Talk about Westbrook. What you got?
I hate Russell Westbrook.
Oh, my God.
I really do.
I have thoughts on this, but go ahead.
Russell Westbrook is one of the... I want to compare him to Allen Iverson. I really do, but I think Allen Iverson didn't have the talent and what was in place that Russell Westbrook
Allen
has.
Iverson played in a watered-down NBA. Not to take anything away from Allen Iverson, but if Allen Iverson was in the league right now with the 76ers, he's not making it to the NBA Finals.
Yeah. But the thing, he never had anybody. He never really had anybody.
Which might have been the best thing for him, which is where you're going with this.
Russell Westbrook has Kevin Durant. Okay, he had Kevin Durant. Had past tense.
Left.
And KD left. Everybody was so ticked off at KD for leaving. Hell, if I'm KD, I'm leaving too. Russell Westbrook is one of the most unique players. I've not been able to point out why the hell it happens. Like, how can a player be that good and not impact his team's winning? Literally last season, they were 47-35.
He impacts it, just not always for the better.
That's a big problem to me.
It is. He tries to do every single game. He tries to be the sole reason why they win, and that doesn't always work. In the second half, he's been a lot better. The second half of the season, he has, and Paul George is playing well. Recently, he's been in kind of a slump, but
yeah,
he's doing better at getting Paul George involved because I think he trusts him a little more, which is going to suck when he leaves in 2 months. But yeah, I agree with you. Keep going.
I think this year has proven more than anything. If I'm a GM, hell, I don't want Russell Westbrook. I don't want him. Like the Lakers, I don't want him. Any team rebuilding that needs one more star. The Sixers, I don't want Russell Westbrook. They were 47-35 last season. I don't know what seed it was. They're 45-34 with additions of Carmelo and Paul George, and they lost Cantor and I'm sure a couple other people. But you're telling me you added Paul George. I know Melo's not doing good, so let's just say you added just Paul George, and you are 45. You might have more losses this season than you did last season. This, I think, proves what Russell Westbrook's value is to a team more than anything.
It's so hard to say because he is so good. Like, he is so good.
If you're the Thunder, why don't you tank? Why don't you give up?
No. Because you can't. This is why this is so hard. Because
they signed Westbrook's got a fat deal.
Yeah, and it's not like he's going anywhere. He is so good. He's a top, just on talent alone, he's a top 7 player, top 6 player.
Top 5, yeah.
And it's just so hard because he thinks he has to do everything, and he doesn't.
Do you think he'll ever get over that?
I don't think he will ever win a title.
I've said this repeatedly. Unless he's a backup in his 15th year or something.
Yeah. I don't think he's... Yeah. It's so hard to say because he is so good, but he just does too much. He tries to do too much, and sometimes it works. Sometimes he comes out of the game with 45, 17, and 15.
But he doesn't do it.
And they win.
He did awful in the playoffs last season.
Yeah,
I guarantee
they won one game.
I wouldn't be surprised. They could get bounced easily in the first round this year.
Depending on who they match up with.
Easily.
Yeah.
That's not... I mean, I get it. You lost KD, and they're still, of course, like being impacted by that. They just traded a lot of pieces for Paul George and Melo. They got this whole team together.
They didn't give up that much for them. They gave up Oladipo, but who's been insane.
Who's an all-star.
But he wasn't gonna get there with them because of Westbrook. And that's another thing.
Every player that's leaving is doing better than when they were with him. So if you look at it, would you rather have your young stars getting better, or would you have them keep being the Westbrook show? Which it's fine. You're making the playoffs.
It's hard.
You're going to be an 8-7 seed every year with Paul George, without Melo. It doesn't matter.
It's really hard. I think, honestly, if they, I don't know what's going to happen with Carmelo, but I don't know what his future is. If they somehow kept Paul George and they improved their bench.
Do you think it discredits George's season or Carmelo? Do you think it discredits either one of them?
No.
The fact that they're still...
No, because we
I
know
get
what they are.
The West is tough.
It might affect Melo because I don't even know what he is in the league anymore.
Is he gonna? Where's he going?
I have no idea. I don't even know if he's good.
He's going to Cleveland.
I don't even know if he's good.
Hot take.
I don't even know if he's good. Is he good?
No.
I don't know if he's good.
What's his stats this year? They're probably atrocious.
He's been struggling, and we've seen Paul George. Paul George is hooping. This is one of his best years of his career.
Best years of his career with Russell Westbrook, who's almost averaging a triple-double, and your record's worse than the year before.
It's not good. It's that's why it's so hard, because you can't just...
I don't want Russell Westbrook on my team.
He might be... I'm just talking about talent. Maybe he is. Maybe he's better than Steph Curry on talent. I don't personally think that. I don't know if he's better than Kyrie, but he's clearly a top point guard in the league. You can't put him probably any lower than 3.
This is what I said. He's complicated. He's a top 5. He's a top 5 player in the league.
It's so
but he's
hard.
not. He's horrible for your team. If I'm a free agent,
but he's not horrible for your team.
Why would Paul George want to go there? Think about this. Is what I was trying to get to. You're like, what's the goal of a team? To win a championship. You can't win a championship with Russell Westbrook. You just can't.
But I think with a guy like that, you have to hold on to the hope. Maybe you don't. I don't know. He's just so good. This is what I'm getting at. He's so good, and he's so fun to watch, and he puts fans in the seats. They are not going to get rid of Russell Westbrook unless he wants out. I promise you they won't. He would retire there if he could.
He probably will, and he's probably going to retire there without a title.
It's just so hard.
The only reason they made that title, and they lost 4-1, was because of KD.
And
KD, and they had Harden coming off the bench. They had a good team that year. And that was the best case scenario.
And if Golden State wasn't a thing, or if Houston wasn't a thing, we could be talking about something totally different. They could be the best team in the West. But we're in an era where the talent is possibly higher than we've ever seen it ever. And he's got to adjust the way he plays, and he just doesn't.
He's not going to.
I don't think he will either.
That's sad.
It's just hard.
He's a top 5 player. Think about it. If you're a free agent, like Chris Paul is going to be a free agent, all these guys are going to be free agents, and you look at OKC, Paul George is going to be the poster child of do I want to go to OKC? Well, Paul George did this. If I want a max contract, I'm sure they can give me that.
Well, we've already seen. Katie already left. Like, we've already seen it.
Exactly.
It doesn't. That's you literally cannot acquire a better player than Kevin Durant. Unless LeBron James is coming on his own terms, you cannot get a better player than Kevin Durant.
That's what I was getting at. I said when they lost 4-1, that was the peak that Russell Westbrook can do as a team. I'm sure he could drop 35, 10, and 10 again. I'm sure he could, average that throughout a season. He's going to put up statistical numbers like Wilt Chamberlain, but the only thing was Wilt Chamberlain won a couple titles. Russell Westbrook, I think, is going to go down as the greatest player to never win a title.
And that's another thing, too. I think the Russell Westbrook MVP from last season has completely been besmirched. And
easily.
I think the people who voted for him...
Well, think about it. Last season, it was just him. And he led him to a 6 seed. They were still a playoff team.
But it's so stupid because they gave it to him because he averaged a triple-double. Yeah. And then, guess what? He won one game in the NBA playoffs.
They lost to, was it...
Houston. They lost to Houston. They lost 4-1 to Houston. They won one game.
They got destroyed.
This season, he's averaging 5 less points, which is understandable. Paul George is there.
Yeah,
he's averaging 5 less points. But he's averaging 10 assists. I think, he's averaging 10 assists. And he's averaging 9.8 rebounds. He's not in NBA conversation. He's not a whisper in NBA conversation.
I know.
Or MVP conversation.
He's not going... If he is, then there's maybe a couple fifth place
How dumb
votes.
Is that? That is so stupid.
I think
he's
that
having the
shows
same
who he
year.
is.
He's having the same season. And I think people realize it now.
Literally, it's just, I hate to use the empty stats thing, but it's empty
100%
stats.
It's empty stats.
Have you seen, you watched the replay of some games, it's a wide open rebound until Steven Adams get out of the way and he grabs it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he on the free throws, he gets every
That's
rebound.
A big thing, too. Steven Adams is a good center.
Yeah, he's
Great
awesome.
center.
I love Steven Adams.
He's underrated because he's working with not only Paul George, but Russell Westbrook.
I think he's actually a good fit because
he complements Russell more than...
Because you're not going to give him the ball. That's not what he wants. He's going to protect the rim, and then he'll finish dunks.
And Russell, literally, this is the dude that this season at the All-Star game he was upset because he thought he was the last pick in the All-Star game.
That's just who he is.
That's who Russell Westbrook, and that's who he's always going to be. That's why KD probably...
Well, I don't mind that part of it. I don't mind the part that he thinks he's better than everyone.
I think every NBA player really thinks that.
They have to. They have to be great. They have to be confident.
But also at the same time, you got teams or people like KD, you got people like Steph
who know they can defer.
And they're like, okay.
That's why they're great.
Exactly. And I think that's what the difference between
that's why Golden State works.
A star and a superstar is LeBron, KD, Steph. They're superstars because they can make that decision. He's got so much pride. He's going to be a star the rest of his career. He's never going to be a superstar.
One of the most polarizing players in the league.
And you know what? In 10 years or 20 years, whenever he's gone, whenever he decides to retire, we're going to look back and be like, man, it was amazing. But at the same time, we're going to be like, his team sucked. Yeah. And he'll never be in the top 10 NBA players of all time conversation. He could finish number 1 in scoring, and it doesn't matter.
Any final thoughts?
Oh, I think I might got a couple. I'm going to talk about baseball in the final thoughts. Can I do that twice?
Sure. I like baseball.
The greatest hitter of all time robbed a home run the other day.
Ichiro?
Did you see it? Left field. The dude's 40 years old reaching up there.
I was blinded by the shine off of his gray hair.
Oh, yeah, and he's a beautiful silver fox now. Seattle, I'm glad that they suck because they keep starting them over and over again. I watch Mariners games, and because you get to see Mike Leake, former Cardinal, out there.
Oh, Jesus.
It's awesome to watch. But, yeah, Ichiro, scaled the fence, robbed a home run for the first time, and probably since I've been born. It's been a while.
Beautiful.
But that's my quick final thought.
I also have a quick final thought. Shout out to Notre Dame's women's basketball. 2 buzzer beaters in a row.
Luke, you might have to edit this out. We got a women's basketball reference on our show?
Oh, yeah. How do you say her name? Agunbunwale?
I'm going to butcher it. Wrong man.
I'm going to butcher it. She hit 2 buzzer beaters in a row.
For Ezekiel. You're talking to the wrong dude.
She hit 2 buzzer beaters in a row. 1 to win the Natty. Shout out to women's. Notre Dame women Irish, the Lady Irish.
I want to say somebody commented on the ESPN thing, and it made a lot of sense. Like, if that was a dude, that's the greatest. That's the greatest shot, like the greatest sequence of all time.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, you got a point. But once again, it's still women's basketball, and nobody cares. Sorry. Once you guys start putting people in the seats, I'll start caring. I'll start talking about it. But until then, your merchandise sucks. Quit forcing it down my throat on ESPN.
Nobody's forcing it down your throat.
Yes, they are. I'm tired. I want to watch PTI. I don't want to watch women's basketball. Creighton against freaking, I don't know, North Iowa State. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch I would rather watch anything other than that. Okay.
I don't know if we can put that in. I don't know if we can put this in.
Me being sexist?
Yes, I don't think we can use that.
Okay. We can put it in. I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right, that's all.
Okay, let's keep it. I'm fine with it. Spread the word.
Spread the word.